Hello there, and a very warm welcome to another edition of The Beam. I'm Victor Matthias. Now, following the rising cases of insecurity in the country, governors of the Southwest region launched a security outfit, Amotekun, to support the police in safeguarding the lives and properties of residents. While some have applauded the move, others, however, think it contravenes the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But before we begin this discussion to find out whether or not it does, we will take you through some of the most talked about trends in the past week.
Nigerians, as always, take time out every January 15 to pay tribute to fallen and serving soldiers who pay the price for the territorial safety and integrity of the nation. Ceremonies are held nationwide where the president, his vice, and other top government functionaries lay wreaths as a sign of respect. 50 years after the Civil War, Nigerians revisited what has been regarded as the worst conflict to hit the country to prefer solutions that will foster unity, rehabilitation, and reintegration. Never again, they concluded, should the country witness such.
Well, there you go. Those were the trends in the past week. Of course, we had to, take that moment out to celebrate the armed forces, those who have, laid down their lives protecting the country, and those who are still doing that right now as they are alive. But joining us to look at the topic of the day, we have with us right here in the Lagos studio, Abraham Jigu. He is a legal practitioner. Thanks for joining us on the program today.
Thank you, Matthias.
Of course. We also have joining us on Skype, Wale Oshunde. He is also a legal practitioner, joining us right here from Lagos. Thanks as well for joining us on the program, Wale.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now we have joining us from our Abuja studio, but right here in our Lagos studio via the virtual reality interface, Ahmed Mustafa, a public relations practitioner. Thanks as well for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here, Victor.
Of course. So why don't you kickstart the conversation for us, Ahmed? There's just been so much talk in the past few days. Call it weeks, yes, you might be right, but so much has been going on in terms of the security situation in the country, and perhaps that's why we have the Southwest governors coming together to have their own security outfits, which has been termed Amotekun. But what was your reaction when you had that they were doing this, or they were making this this move?
Well, I felt it was a move that was long overdue. The Southwest has been particularly known for its peace, and for a while now, that peace that guarantees the ease of doing business in the Southwest has been overly challenged, and so some of us had been pushing for the governors to come together and create a regional security outfit, which they eventually did, but some of us felt that this was something that they should have done much earlier. So it's something we welcome, and was hugely celebrated amongst so many of us in the Southwest. We believed that it was a step in the right direction to bring the much-needed peace back to the Southwest.
All right, I'll come back to you on some of the things, issues you raised, but Abraham, he says it's a step in the right direction. What do you feel, though?
I feel the actions of the governors of the Southwest is ill-advised. And most of the comments that have come out from senior lawyers, including His Excellency, the governor of Ondo State.
As a chairman of the Southwest Governors. Yeah.
I think is statements made against the Attorney General of the Federation are unkind. The matters are clear. The Constitution is very clear as to the formation of paramilitary and related groups. The nation has a police force that is in charge of security. Now, I am concerned about the security situation in Nigeria, but we have to be careful not to encourage self-help and lawlessness, because the statements coming out from the Southwest, mostly from top and senior lawyers and top members of the society from the Southwest, it's giving this an ethnic coloration.
But I mean, Professor Isse Sage, a well-respected
yes.
Lawyer in the country, has also said that they can go ahead. So
yes,
it's pretty much not really.
I said mostly.
Okay.
I said mostly. I don't want to see it as anybody playing an ethnic card, but I want to say that the AGF, which I don't agree with most of his action anyway, has come out to say that, look, this is in direct contravention of the Constitution. Now, each state governor can, through the House of Assembly, make laws and create outfits.
Bylaws.
Bylaws. Yeah, laws. Just like we have seen in Lagos State, the Neighborhood Watch is created by law, backed by law. But when groups of governors, a number of governors in the Southwest, not one, not two, leave their domain and come together as a region, you are giving the Constitution a different coloration. We don't practice regionalism in Nigeria.
All right, so yeah, I agree with you on that. We actually don't practice regionalism, but let me just hold you there for a bit. Let me get here from Wale Oshunde, who's joining us via Skype. Wale, so it seems to be like a 1 for and 1 for against, but where do you stand with all of this?
Okay, I mean, it's a very simple thing. We are all talking about the interest of Nigeria, and Nigerians. So I honestly want to see it differently. For me, it's about the fact that, look, a group of people have seen the deficiency of government and governance. They have continued to see that insecurity is actually the order of the day in the country. Even successive governments have not been able to respond accurately and appropriately, to the spate of insecurity in Nigeria. And then here you have a group of some vibrant, governors who think that, look, with the reports that they are getting and then the intelligence that we continue to receive from certain quarters, I mean, it has now become very important and necessary for them to take steps, towards ensuring that the security of lives and property, which is the primary responsibility of government, takes dominance in their hearts, and then they do something before all of their people are killed. You see,
so the question is, what they did, is it constitutional?
Okay, so it is well within their right. Let's get it very clear. It is well within their right to do what they have done, but now they have not finalized, the process that leads to the eventual setup of these outfits. What do I mean? They still need to go to back. I mean, they still need to go back to their respective, House of Assemblies, and then get these, legally sorted out. They still need to pass laws in the respective House of Assemblies, and then ensure that, they give credence to what they have done. So basically, they have started a process, but I strongly believe that within the ambit of the law, they still have to go back to the House of Assembly to finish that process. So, but it is well within their rights to come together to see to the well-being, to the security of their people.
All right, Wale, I'll come back to you again. Let me quickly go back to Abuja studio. Talk to Ahmed, who is actually standing right here in front of us. Ahmed, so the issue of legality now is coming into place, whether or not this setup is backed by law. What do you think about that?
Victor, first of all, Wale did say that this is the actions of the Southwest governors was ill-advised. I strongly disagree with that. The Constitution
Wale didn't say that. Abraham said that. Wale didn't say that.
Abraham rather, yes. Abraham said that. Sorry, my apologies. And I would like to quickly point out that one of the rights guaranteed by the Constitution is the right to life. If people feel that their lives are threatened, they have a right to take necessary steps to protect themselves. Now, let me note again that Amotekun is not a regional security outfit. It is not. What Amotekun is a helping hand to the existing security framework, which is the Nigerian police. Nobody, you cannot govern people outside of themselves, and you cannot police people outside of themselves. This is the basic understanding of the Southwest governors in creating Amotekun. Already, we have vigilante groups unguarded in this country, if we're telling ourselves the truth. What the Southwest governors have done here is to bring all these groups together so that there's a similitude of organization for them. If the AGF goes ahead and calls this illegal, which I don't think he has the right to. I think only a court of competent jurisdiction has the right to declare Amotekun illegal. And if that injunction is secured in a court of law, what you would find is that this will be, the tag Amotekun will be taken off, and then government will have no control as to how people go about protecting themselves by themselves. What the governors have done is wise in the sense that it brings all of these vigilante groups together under an umbrella instead of having them as renegades who seek self-help, as Abraham has said. So when you look at the issue of constitutionality, constitution guarantees the average Nigerian the right to life. If I feel that my life is threatened, and it then behoves on me on my government
doing that against the Constitution of the Federal Republic is perhaps why maybe the AGF is contesting this setup. Don't you think so?
Victor, he's contesting the setup, I dare to say ignorantly. He views Amotekun as a paramilitary setup. It is not. Absolutely not.
Let me quickly...
No, there's something I need to say about using what they should have done differently. Now, I would suggest this. The reason I also said they were ill-advised. Now, look at rapid response in Lagos. This is an outfit of the Nigerian police force backed by the state government financially. And
what about legally?
Legally, yes, because it's an outfit of the Nigerian police force, which is the outfit that is allowed under the Constitution to protect lives and property.
In Lagos State.
In Lagos State. The Constitution is very clear. Section 227 of the Constitution is very clear about creating paramilitary and vigilante groups. I'm not even as much as have a problem with you doing it within your state. When you do it within your state, the AGF cannot just come and be saying things as he has said now. Yeah. But when you come out as a group, the problem is coming out as a region.
All right, let me just hold you again. Let me bring Wale. So Wale, I mean, this didn't just start today. I mean, it has been perhaps like an ongoing movement before it came to where it is right now. Can you pretty much give us like a timeline as to when it even started in the first place?
Exactly. So, I mean, I was even coming to that because people are just talking about it right now as if this is a very recent development, or like, it started this month or, last week or something like that. That is not correct. As a matter of fact, if my memory serves me right, these governors came together for the first time, say about 4 months ago, in Ibadan, in Oyo State. They were hosted by Governor Seyi Makinde. And do not forget that these governors are coming from states where you have different political parties in power. Seyi Makinde is a governor, elected on the platform of the PDP. In Ogun State, you have APC, Dapo Abiodun. Pretty much we can say in the remaining states, you have APC in power. So you would then not say that they are probably doing it because they are all in a particular political party or because they want to achieve a particular objective of, regional reasons or something. I think that the reason they have come together as a region is because these states are linked together. They are interlinked. They are interwoven. Whatever happens in Ogun State will definitely affect Oyo State one way or the other. If something blows up in Oyo State, it will probably extend to Osun, to Ife. If something blows up in Ife, if you are not careful, it would also get to Ondo, in no time. So I think that is probably the reason.
Wale, let me just hold you for a bit. We'll just hold your breath. We'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll get back to you, to wrap up your thoughts on this. But we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We still have with us our panelists right here in Lagos and Abuja, of course, through the virtual reality interface as well as via Skype. So, Wale, let me come back again to you. I mean, you were talking about how these states are linked, and perhaps one of the reasons why the governors took this decision is the fact that they're trying to see that if something is happening in one state, they could quickly just curb it before it spreads to the other parts of the country. So please go ahead with that.
If something happens in Ogun State, in Abeokuta or wherever, it's likely to spread to other parts of, to Ibadan, for example, very quickly. Do not forget that Lagos shares, a boundary with Ogun State, for instance. If something blows up in Lagos, within 10, 15 minutes, people are already in Mowe, Bafo, they're already in Shagamu, they're already in Abeokuta. And that is the reason people have encouraged, this intergovernmental synergy, you understand, across the states of the federation. And that would really help us protect our shorelines very easily and more efficiently. And that's exactly what even the federal government needs to do with respect to battling insurgency. You remember that when President Muhammadu Buhari took over, the reins of office in 2015, he went around, the neighboring countries to also draw inspiration from what they have as security forces in all of those places, and then to also say, okay, look, let's come together, let's form an alliance that's able to combat terrorism head-on, and then let's do all of this together, let's share intelligence together and all that. That is the only way you can reasonably push out the forces of terrorism out of our land. And do not forget that the police, you see, let's be very honest with ourselves. The police force is overstretched in this country. They are doing a great job. We should give it to them. They continue to sacrifice themselves for all of us so that we can sleep with our two eyes closed. But you see, we still need to do a lot in terms of security and security apparatus in this country. And the police force is not able to adequately protect lives and security at this in time. And that is the reason even governments across board, in all levels and in all states, should think along with the spirit and the letters of the Constitution, then try to assist the government, to ensure that security of lives and property is actually guaranteed in this country. Until then, we'll continue to deceive ourselves. And that is the reason I am saying this is fine. However, the state governors still need to go back to the assemblies and ensure that they finalize the process that they started.
Hopefully, all of that will happen. But I have to say thank you, Awale Oshunde, for joining us on the program today via Skype from Lagos, legal practitioner. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Ahmed, let me pretty much get to hear from you. So what would be the next step forward?
Well, before we get there, let me quickly say that Abraham said that the Southwest governors were wrong to have made this a regional affair. I do think that if states have the same as close borders as the Southwestern governors have, they have a right to collaborate, whether on business and on security. Osun, I know, does a lot of business with Lagos. Lagos does business with Kebbi. That's why we have the Lake Rise. So if they can collaborate on businesses, even between a governor in the South and a governor in the North, there's absolutely nothing wrong in them coming together, putting hands together to ensure that there is safety of the people. The next step would be for the Southwestern governors to stand their ground. I expect that they will do that. And I very much like the fact that the governor of Ondo State and the governor of Oyo State have made their stance clear that they will not back down on this attempt to protect the lives and properties of their people, because that is the principal reason for which they were elected into office. If the AGF feels they are out of line, he should go to court and get a court injunction that would solidify his stance on this issue. Otherwise, it's just, as far as I'm concerned, it's just still talk at this point. And we in the Southwest believe that Amotekun has come to stay. So.
All right. Well, you believe it has come to stay. But, only time, of course, will tell if it has come to stay or not. But Ahmed Mustafa, public relations practitioner, joining us right here in our Lagos studio via the virtual reality interface. I'd have to say thank you for joining us on the program today.
Thank you very much, Victor. It was a pleasure being here.
Of course, you're welcome. All right. So, he's saying that, I'm just saying that time will tell. you know, and he's saying, you know, some steps might be taken, you know, if he validates the fact that, you know, they can do business within themselves. They have the Dawn Commission, and no one challenged that. So he believes people should, I mean, the government shouldn't also challenge the fact that they're putting a security outfit. But, I mean, what do you think about that quickly, just before we go?
I think we should consider the fact that Amotekun is coming under the umbrella of a regional phase, coming with a regional phase. There's no law that states that the governors of each state, not even Western Nigeria, cannot do business or interface. But when you come together, you create a logo, you create uniforms, and you tag an outfit, Amotekun of Western Nigeria, you are going in direct contravention of the Constitution. Now, it begs the question, what law backs the creation of Amotekun? They can't find it. Somebody is saying that they should go to the Supreme Court and seek interpretation. Seek interpretation of which law? There's no law creating Amotekun. So the governors and senior lawyers in the Southwest should whittle down most of the statements that are coming out in support. You know, you hear statements like, there's no backing down, there's no going back. No. The right thing, as Wale has said, is for them to go to the various states where they are chief security officers, go to their House of Assembly, create laws that will create this in their respective states. Now, if the Amotekun in Ogun, Amotekun in Oyo collaborate, fine. But don't come under the umbrella. It is in direct contravention of the Constitution. Section 227 of the Constitution is very clear.
Like I said, only time will tell if Amotekun is going to stay or
No,
not.
it's not even the time will tell. We should not encourage lawlessness and breach of the rule of law. The Constitution is there for everybody. All the people that are saying things in support of Amotekun are saying and whipping up emotions and playing the ethnic card. What I think they should do is to follow the due process. They know the due process. You don't go and launch a program before you get a law to back it.
I mean, I wish we had time to, you know, go on about this, but I mean, like I said, I mean, the AGF has spoken.
Yes.
You know, some legal luminaries have spoken. The Southwest governors have also spoken. So, I mean, of course, I believe that the tail end of everything, they'll meet in court.
We are saying that they should douse tension. Nobody should whip up some tension in the country.
Just ahead.
Douse the tension.
Yeah.
Let us follow the due process.
They all meet in court, of course, you know, and just to settle, you know, this dust that has been raised by the formulation of this outfit. But again, I have to say thank you again for joining us on the program.
Pleasure, Matthias.
Legal practitioner.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's where we are with the Amotekun discussion. But, of course, as always, we'll bring you the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
The fire that gutted the Kara market in Ogun State begins this week's most viewed videos in 5th place. It's followed in 4th by that of the destruction of shanties in the Lekki area of Lagos by the Lagos State Task Force. Third place is taken by the lady who expressed her feelings after the Kwara State government demolished a property belonging to the family of the former Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki.
They are destroying everything. They are destroying a woman being. All the old woman that was here.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Burutai, daring Boko Haram insurgents and walking through the Gwaza Hills in Borno State, takes 2nd place. While first spot is taken by the outburst of Borno State Governor over alleged extortion of travelers by soldiers and policemen.
And that's the program this week. As always, you can still share your thoughts with us as the conversation doesn't end here. Let's take it to the social media addresses showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Bye for now.